video editing, video editing, video editing. It's kind of like that. It's Filmmaking 101 week, and I've got tips and drills for editing your videos. You may think I'm gonna run up my video editor and show you a bunch of editing tricks. I'm not, but I'll reveal some secrets that pro editors use without even thinking about it. Gotta do a disclaimer. I am not a pro Hollywood editor. They're way better than me, that's their job, why I would hire them for pro projects. However, knowing pro editors has helped me evolve into a better editor. I've learned about the difference between editing professionally and editing as a one-man band filmmaker. And there is a big difference. Pro video editors. Many pro editors do something so naturally they don't even realize they do it, like driving a car. You just drive and don't think about it. Sure, they have the director and other people on hand and all that. For the one-man band filmmaker, most of you watching this channel, this is not the case. One-man band filmmakers. There you are editing and you've got everyone with you. You've got the planner, you, the scriptwriter, you, the director, you, the cameraman, you, the lighting person, you, the sound person, you, and you're really happy about that because everyone, you, is at the party. I hate to break your head, that's the worst thing ever. Be an editor. When you start editing your video, you have to be an editor. You don't care what someone else thinks the best shots are, you. You don't care what someone else thinks about the close-up shots, you. You don't care about what someone else thinks about the cute girlfriend or boyfriend, which happens to be yours, or how that person was able to pull off that long 5-minute dialogue without stumbling, that was you, or how the camera person spent days to pull off that epic 6-minute Steadicam shot, that was you. In fact, as a one-man band filmmaker, you have the hardest job of any editor, and that is to edit as if someone just dumped all this footage on you and you've never seen it before. But how the hell do you do that? Edit like an editor. To edit like an editor, you have to practice something which is really hard to do until you've practiced it so much that it becomes a part of you, like driving a car. A one-man band filmmaker editor needs to edit like this. There's a message, a story, that I am delivering to a specifically defined audience. Anything that doesn't contribute to that gets cut. Example, I recently did a video about the basics of sound. Here's how that video came about. Observation. There's an awful lot of YouTube videos with really bad sound. Audience. Filmmakers who don't realize the importance of sound or haven't figured out how to get better sound in their videos. Message. Sound is important. After shooting, I realized it got way out of hand. I had an hour of 20 minutes of video with everything you could want to know about sound. Acoustics, audio, sound charts, how sound works, electronics of microphones, the history of sound, which I'll let John Hess cover over at Filmmaker IQ, a channel you should subscribe to, by the way. You name it, it was in there. When I was done editing, it ended up 18 minutes, which I think is still a bit long. I was pressured for time. Think about that. I cut all that scrumptious information out, 122 minutes, over an hour, cut. Do I care? No. The mistake was not following the purpose for the video, which I had outlined before I even shot it. Don't get me wrong, I would always rather have too much and cut it than not enough. Flick the editor switch. So there I am in the editing booth, and the first thing I do is flick on the editor switch. I just don't care about anything other than one, the audience, which is filmmakers who don't realize the importance of sound or haven't figured out how to get better sound in their videos. 2, the message, which is sound is important. So I started hacking and chopping anything that doesn't apply to my audience. Message or previous outline. History of sound, cut. Audio charts and diagrams, cut. Microphone electronics, cut. Replaying and hacking, chopping away 122 minutes of awesome. I don't care. I have an audience, I have a message, and I have a story. That's flicking the editor switch on when you sit down to edit. How to edit. Most people think editing is a thinking process. It's not. It's looking and listening. It's a process of switching between the editor and editing, then being your audience and watching and listening at the exact moment you are watching and listening. That's a mouthful, but this is really important if you want to get better at editing. Editing example. Let's say we made a video about shooting outdoors and correct exposure. Our audience is filmmakers who have problems with exposure outdoors. Our message is get good exposure before hitting record. Our outline might be an introduction, explaining exposure, how to set it, a few tips like filters, recapping out. Now we're done shooting. We have all the footage in the timeline and we're ready to edit. Within a fraction of a second, without even thinking about it, the video editor does this. I am now going to watch this. I have never seen it before. I am the audience, a filmmaker who has problems with exposure outdoors. Here's an over-dramatized example. The editor hits this footage. And when you're shooting outside, running out of battery on your camera can be a real problem. It's a problem when your camera battery dies. Try a battery grip. Here I have it mounted on a T3i with a 24-105 lens. If they do run out of power, I can just take 2 more batteries and swap them out, as long as I don't forget to carry extras. It's a really great addition to your filmmaking arsenal. The 2 batteries go in the battery tray and slide in right here. It holds 2 batteries, which means double the shooting time. We talk about the camera and lens it's mounted to, nothing to do with exposure outdoors, cut. We talk about how the batteries go into the battery tray, nothing to do with exposure outdoors, cut. I am now going to watch this. I have never seen it before. I am the audience, a filmmaker who has problems with exposure outdoors. And when you're shooting outside, running out of battery on your camera can be a real problem. It's a problem when your camera battery dies. Try a battery grip. If they do run out of power, I can just take 2 more batteries and swap them out, as long as I don't forget to carry extras. It's a really great addition to your filmmaking arsenal. It holds 2 batteries, which means double the shooting time. We define the problem twice. Cut. Lots of blah about 2 batteries. Nothing to do with exposure outdoors. Cut. I am now going to watch this. I have never seen it before. I am the audience, a filmmaker who has problems with exposure outdoors. And when you're shooting outside, running out of battery on your camera can be a real problem. Try a battery grip. It holds 2 batteries, which means double the shooting time. Okay, this whole thing is good for outdoor shooting, but doesn't apply to filmmakers who have problems with exposure outdoors. Let's handle the cut shots. And when you're shooting outside, running out of battery on your camera can be a real problem. Try a battery grip. It holds 2 batteries, which means double the shooting time. And we'll just save for possible filler, and for right now, we'll just remove it from the timeline. Let's continue editing. I'm now going to watch this. You get the idea. This is a skill that is drilled over and over until you don't even have to think about it. It may seem like a labor-intensive process. Well, welcome to editing. The editor drill. That is the drill. Knowing what the message or story is, assuming the viewpoint of the intended audience receiving the message or story, and watching it every single time as if you've never seen it before, then switching back to being the editor and chopping stuff up. It's slow going at first, but if you practice and drill it, you'll get really good. It'll be like jumping in your car and driving. By the way, cutting all that awesome footage that you think is really fantastic but not needed for the story is called killing your babies. It's kind of gross, but you get the idea. Length warning. Just to be clear, nowhere have I said that videos need to be short, long, or whatever. As a professional editor, you may have to keep a show nailed at 42 minutes or a commercial at 29 seconds. That's different, but the same rules apply. The length of your video is the length of your video. As you get better, you'll get a feel for it. Editing failure points. I don't always achieve some sort of awesome on my YouTube videos, but at least I can recognize why I don't, and the failure points are 1th, not knowing what you're going to do or cover. A plan. 2th, not knowing your audience or too general an audience. If your audience is everyone, then you've got a problem. I made a video on this a long time ago about doing commercials, which covers that in depth. Again, it should pop up here and will be in the video description below. 3th, not having the message or the story nailed down before shooting and editing. If you have footage like that, handle it in editing or just chalk it up to experience and make another video. 4th, giving up on the editor drill. You want to drive a car, keep drilling and practicing until you don't have to think about it. You want to be a better editor, don't give up until you can do editing naturally. It's not something you ever stop doing. 5th, being convinced that a short video is always better. That's not true. If it were, no one would go see movies or watch TV shows. If it's 30 seconds or 30 minutes, edit to keep your intended audience watching. 6th, if your intended audience is people who hold pencils in their right hand, then don't feel bad if someone who uses pencils in their left hand doesn't like your video. You shouldn't care, and in fact, ignore it. Or start making video for people who use pencils in their left hand too. Next week is WTF I Do Week. That's what I want to do, and I get to go way outside the box. To see what I cover each week and when, watch my YouTube channel, Goal Schedule Video, which should pop up here and is also included in the description below. If you have questions or comments, leave them below or send an email to thebasicfilmmaker@gmail.com. If you've been watching the last couple of videos, I've been trying to work out my subscribe message, so here's another attempt. Hello? Yep. Yeah, they're watching right now. Tell them what? Okay. They say you should subscribe. Okay, that ain't gonna work either. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Assuming the viewpoint of the intended message, bam!